I have been involved in public transport research for many decades, and I have been really trying to get more trains into cities because I think we have far too much car dependence, and trains change cities. I've been helping many cities around the world and across Australia, but mostly in Perth. And the whole Metronet system is now delivering 7 new rail lines. It's an upgraded service. I used it on the weekend. It was fantastic. Going to the footy, it was just packed. Everyone loves it. So we've had success there. What we haven't had success with is how it changes how we do housing. We are not building enough housing around the stations. And some places do it well, and we know we need to do it. We haven't worked out how to do it. And my sense is that the project we've now got and have been working on for the last 5 or 6 years is showing this solution. How to bring affordable housing, well-located housing, into the picture and working with the transit system. But we've got to do it now with these trackless trams, these mid-tier transit systems that go across the corridors and link up to the Metronet. The fast rail is critical, absolutely essential for any city, but you need the trams to enable people to get there and to link up all the different small land uses that are important to people in their communities. So this is the next phase of what we need to do in Perth, but many cities across Australia and the world are seeing this as well. So our work on trackless trams and net zero corridors has reached a global audience. They can see that the technology that we've begun to work with, smart systems, digital, electric, highly efficient, and they are a modern tram. They're solar based and they're running well in a few places, but mostly in China. And we are now seeing cities around the world looking to build them into their cities. So our project has tried to bring all this together and to show how it works. And most of all, we had a symposium where we brought everybody together. People from across Australia who are trying to do the same thing. And it was very inspiring for me to see how many people, hundreds of people, who clearly are now trying to change their cities in the same way and need our help to show them how. What is the procurement process and the governance system that will enable this to happen? And the symposium laid it out and showed that it is quite possible to do simply, efficiently, and commercially. And we found that that was what people were interested in. Once they rode the trackless tram, there was no question that this was real, this is good, and it will enable developers to build around the stations. That's what most people need to see. And when they could see that this would attract investment, then you can see a breakthrough. Procurement has to then involve the developers, involve finance companies, as well as the communities and agencies that normally build public transport. But this needs developers because they build the housing. And the housing is what we now need. So that is, in a nutshell, where we've reached. Procurement must be a partnership that involves their money, their commitment, and we will show agencies and communities that if we do this together, we'll create a much better place to live, to work. The local communities will love it. That's the outcome we're after. And the governance for that is just about how we bring everybody together and enable that process. Certainly you need lots of government commitment, but not necessarily as much money as they thought, because the reality is you've got to do it in private development as well. You cannot do it just with government. And it's not enough just to zone it and hope it'll happen. You need a process that will commit to that corridor, that brings in the community, brings in all the people who have a stake in it, and away we go. It would happen, it would take off. So that's my journey, and the SBE project has been very important to me to see how we actually do it in practice now and bring together the missing elements. If you just do public transport, it's a very important phase, but it's not enough. We've got to now bring the land development around it so that we can bring our cities back together, not sprawling, not so car dependent that their lives are totally based around a vehicle. It needs to be walkable, highly attractive place that you want to be in. And that's the kind of thing we've been able to show in other parts of the world, and especially in the Melbourne corridors. But now we can do it anywhere, and everyone wants that. We've won that idea. Let's do it now.